I need to revisit this passage now that we understand better the meaning of sēmainein, indicate, in the sense of indicating something that is from a superior or supreme vantage point. And once we understand that, we can appreciate why Herodotus, at the very beginning of his histories, is so eager to indicate, and I'm using my translation word deliberately in this context, he's so eager to indicate that he knows who was the cause, who was responsible for what culminated in the Persian Wars, as we moderns refer to the events of 490 and 480 and 479 BCE. For Herodotus, even though there are many different vantage points, some of which are conflicting, that try to gain authority over what is really the truth about what happened in these years, he is very eager to put his own perspective into it, and that means his own control of this medium of Historiā, or as he pronounced it, Historiē, which is derived from the word oida, I know, I see, and therefore I know, that is quoted from the words of Apollo himself as the god of the oracle at Delphi. So he is using the word sēmainein here to indicate his own privileged vantage point, which he has achieved as the result of his own investigations, some of it by going to a higher point than others can achieve, others of it by just traveling along his roads of words, as he calls them, from one place to another, connecting the dots at ground zero. However he achieves that superior vantage point, when all is said and done, he says, okay, I'll tell you who was really the cause of the Persian Wars. And it's curious whom he fingers. It's a person who is relatively sympathetic, as the French would say. He is simpatico. His name is Croesus. And he was tyrant of the Lydians. And he was also somebody who made all sorts of alliances with various Greek-speaking communities, especially with Sparta. And as it turns out, this is the man, according to Herodotus's investigations, according to his Historiā, who is responsible, who is the cause of what Herodotus is narrating, focusing on 490 BCE and 480 and 479 BCE, the climactic points of the so-called Persian Wars. It turns out that what Croesus did that was so unjust, so without dikē, has to do with making Greek city-states in Asia Minor and in the outlying islands pay tribute. And you say to yourself, why is that so terrible? After all, in the narratives of world history, there are so many atrocities that are being committed left and right, the gouging out of eyes, the torturing of people, and the list goes on and on. So why is it the imposition of tribute paying on cities that are Greek so terrible? Well, it's not that it's terrible, it's that Herodotus is seeking to find out what are the major forces of injustice that lead to something so world-changing as the Persian Wars. And that is what Historiā is all about, establishing the rights and wrongs of what we today would call world history. Sēmainein, indicate, is what Herodotus is doing again. And again, as we saw earlier, the way he communicates is the way Apollo the god communicates from the oracle at Delphi, but also a hero like Protesilaos, manages to get the message across even when he's dead. Because after all, heroes, even when they're dead, have an afterlife somewhere and somehow that we, the living, cannot fully understand unless we're initiated into the mysteries of the ancient Greek hero.